What up, peoples? Enjoying a nice walk out here, man. Hey, yeah. Today, we're going to talk about some stuff that I got an understanding to. Before, I was asking, how can it be enslaved black people and free black people on the land when slavery was overall? But I'm understanding that history in America that slavery wasn't blanket overall. They enslaved some black people, and the ones they couldn't enslave, they reclassified them. You understand? What was it? Freeman. Gave him the name Freeman. And everybody else was enslaved. Yo, the history is so much, but I want to hold a vibe today on the reclassification of the Native Black Americans. People always trying to say Americans don't know their history, or the black man of America don't know the history. Well, I'm deep diving in history, and we're going to cover the reclassification today real quick. You know, I'm just holding the vibe, so give you my vibration and how I feel about the situation since I'm learning about it. Reclassifying people. In the 16th century, people that they couldn't enslave, they started classifying them as freemen. And then in 1790, I believe, was the first census. Now they started recording 100 years later. After they switched over the population and shit, now they started recording it. Yeah, man, let's get into it. Oh yeah, and like and share the video. You know what I mean? Tap in. We holding the vibe. Walk and Talk 2024. Like and share the video. Like and share the video. You know what I mean? Let's grow this channel, y'all. I'm gonna catch y'all on the other side in the intro. You know what I mean? I don't know. What's up, man? Like and share the video, y'all. You know what I'm saying? The biggest thing, though, give me a subscription. Come on. Help me grow this channel, y'all. And tap into my other channels as well. At Conscious356 and at CLP Got Beats. You know, we're building a whole network over here. We got beats, we got podcasts, and then we got everything right here on this channel. So tap in, show some love, subscribe, drop a comment if you're feeling the vibration, you're vibing, you know? What's up, what's up, what's up? What's up, everybody? How all is doing? I hope all is well. And if not, hope we get back on track sooner than later. Sick and active thing, you know what I mean? Just another day. Alright. So what's the talk today? That history subject, man, is a lot to it. Once you start looking into history and understanding what went down, there's so much floating parts, so much stuff. So it took them a long time for the psyop, a long time for the misleading and their teaching and lying. And you know what? Reclassifying. You know? Reclassifying the natives, the Native Americans. the black people of America, changing them, or how can you say, change how the world get to know them before even knowing them, you know? Because the history that they're teaching does not line up with the history of the natives of that land. The Native Americans, the black Americans. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't even questioning it. If you go back in my videos like 2022, I was asking like, how can it be free black people and enslave black people at the same time? Then I didn't know. But now I do know. They were reclassified. How could they do that? Well, the colonizers and the rulers do whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? And after colonizing, taking over, they started reclassifying the natives. You can't talk about their history. You couldn't learn. You know what I mean? You couldn't go to school and learn, but you couldn't talk about the history. You couldn't speak your native language. And that's in the 1600s, where they started laying down their laws and changing the dynamics in the future of the land. This place was called Turtle Island by the natives. It wasn't America. It was named America after the colonization of the land. It took it over, and eventually took it over with new concepts and laws. But I think their law system follows the Iroquois law system, how it was set up, democracy. And I think they took that and ran with it and set up shop to their own democracy that we're voting for now. You know what I mean? But the reason why we don't know nothing about the Black Americans, the Native Americans' history, because the people were reclassified as time went on. In the 1600s, the 16th century, that's when they started changing and reclassifying the natives after all the takeover, the land grabs, driving out the natives, warring the natives, killing the natives. You hear about all the diseases that came along with the colonizers and the settlers that set up shop. You hear about all those diseases. So, by telling the history wrong and going with the narrative that Black Americans and Native Americans don't know their history, so they can control the land. So the other peoples in the world thinking that the land belongs to them and that they're from the land when they're immigrants as well. Just like all the new immigrants now. It's just that when they migrated here, it was a different time when there were no such thing as immigration laws. When it was Turtle Island, the natives lived. All the tribes, north and south, east and west, throughout the land. A lot of tribes. This was 1,000+ tribes. Different families, you know what I mean? So, after they came over, set up shop, started enslaving the natives, killing all the natives, they then enslaved all the natives, you know? They did not enslave all the natives. So the ones that did not get enslaved, they reclassified them to freemen. And freemen to the free states. So, instead of you or your tribe, you know, you're now a freeman. You're not a Cherokee no more. Or whatever tribes there were. I gotta learn a lot, so I'm not gonna say too much names. But They reclassify them as the native, as their tribe that they represent, to freemen, while others were enslaved or killed off. And the freemans were the ones that were designated lands off their land. Yo, history is dark and deep. People taking over people. Like how, how Russia is all over Ukraine right now. People taking over their land. But in the American case, changing the narrative, changing the story, not telling this history, but they don't know the history themselves. They came, saw the people, and disregard what was going on. Now, when they came and set up shop, they have their history from that time when they're settling up and all of that. But they don't know the people that lived off Turtle Island and their history. They tell their history. They have their history. It's out, but it's covered up. And remember, look, in the 16th, the 15th century, you couldn't tell your traditional stories. You couldn't teach your young ones those stories anymore. Now they're making laws and all of that, when they're trying to change the narrative. 200 years later, which is now, from 1800, 1900, 2000, 2000, now it's being broken down. People like me digging into the history to see what's going on, because a lot of the history doesn't make any sense if you don't research it. And what they teach you, they tell you half the story a little bit and lie the rest of the way. So you have to look into this stuff. And that's why I didn't understand the free men, the free black people, and enslaved black people. But now I do. Because these people brought enslavement on the land. And enslaved the people of the land. Run other peoples off their land. The one that they couldn't conquer. And fight until we just, man. But that's what the vibe today, just to talk about reclassifying of the Native Americans, the Native Black Americans. You have to say that because the world is saying Black Americans don't know their history, but the history is in front of your face. Why? Because the Black Americans, the Black Native Americans are from America. They're not from Africa. They're trying to teach us this. In '88, I was 8 years old. And that's when the Americans came up with the term of African American. That was in Jamaica in '88. But Marcus Garvey, the Jamaican, that was preaching that black people's from Africa. And I said, yeah, but not all black people. And there's clearly differences between people. And even if you don't understand that, look at the differences between people. Because I was always looking at the differences, trying to figure out how come people are so different. Now you know, Africans are from Africa. Americans are Americans. And I'm thinking, hey, is Jamaica part of the Americas? Because we're in between South and North America, right? So it would be part of the Americas. But Jamaica is their own place because everybody say they're Jamaican and not American. You know what I mean? Well, I'm Foundation Jamaican, I'm going to represent. But I'm living here in America, so I'm understanding the history. You know what I'm saying? Reclassifying people doesn't change them. You may change their title, how you look at them. But everybody else still gonna look at niggas as niggas. And we gonna find the truth out regardless of what, one way or another. And the truth came out that niggas from America is niggas from America. I'm just saying, man. Yo, wisdom does come with age. Understanding come with experience and learning through the experience, off your experience. When you ask questions, you will get the answers. Stick to it. Yeah, that's why I'm doing these walking talks. I have so much questions from youngin', and now I'm older. Let's just reason and hold the vibe. I'm saying, like and share the video as well as we continue on this vibration. Subscribe to the channel, help me grow this thing. Comment if you're vibing, limit. But now, I understand that. Reclassifying the natives. You look at them different. But they ain't different, they're the same. And remember, you know, black people come in all ranges. Even in Africa. From dark skin to light skin. The white light skin. You know what I'm saying? Even in Africa, they'll land as well. And then don't forget, you know, we got niggas in Europe. We got niggas in Asia. Because even the Nation of Islam said Asiatic black men. You know how am I getting understanding and getting some information through the Muslims books when I was younger? The Asiatic black man. Whew. History, man. It's good to hold a vibe on it though. So we know what went on and what went down, you know what I mean? John will start. Walk and talk.